Thanks for the forecast, Jamie. I'm excited that there's going to be some sun.
I know. I woke up this morning and it was beautiful outside. I never know what to expect, so Jamie letting us know what's coming is always good.
Thank you, Jamie. Now, there's a big debate going on in Dayton. It's always a tough situation to figure out when to take the car keys away from an elderly relative. It's sensitive, but sometimes things happen and you have to ask the question. Yesterday, we reported that there was an elderly Harrison Township man who accidentally ran over his wife as he was backing up. And ironically enough, that happened on the same day that Brian Williams aired a story on Rock Center about figuring out when to take the keys away and how to do it with dignity. So, it's a tough situation.
It's definitely a tough situation. You know, you don't want to infringe upon people's rights or say when they are or not ready to have those keys. And
that's the footage from the man's neighborhood, the Harrison Township man. I mean, we covered this on the 5:30 newscast last night.
Okay, right.
And then Brian Williams did the story on it. You know, it is hard to figure out because is it a question, for instance, this man, was it just that he wasn't paying attention or was it truly because he was old?
Right, because he was older. It's fortunate that, you know, you would want to blame age, but I think unless it's for sure, I don't know that you can just take those keys away. Accidents happen.
Accidents do
People
happen.
need to check behind them. I've been guilty of maybe not checking as clearly. Luckily, I've not run over anyone because of it, but I've not maybe checking as clearly as I could have in my rear view. That can happen to anyone. So I understand that it could have happened because of age, but it could very well have been an accident, an honest accident.
Well, viewers are taking to our Facebook and weighing in on the debate. Mitchell Wood III from Dayton said, I have an aunt who's 93 and won't give up her keys even though she really needs to. She can hardly walk, let alone drive.
And Joanna Rice Harbett, also from Dayton, said, I think that if you are over 65, you should have to take a driver's test every year. An interesting opinion for sure. You can join in on the conversation. Give us your opinion. Make sure you like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter to weigh in on that. Now, another touchy subject. People are a little upset. The Dayton International Airport has some beef with Delta Airlines. Delta just announced that they are removing their service from Dayton to New York's LaGuardia Airport, a flight that was key for local businesses.
Yeah, a lot of people are upset about this because people that have to commute to New York, that was their flight.
Yeah.
That was their flight, and it's going to start in July, so, I mean, if you still have to fly to New York, you can take those flights, but July and forward.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a very popular flight. Flights to LaGuardia from Dayton have been around 74% full, so there are a lot of people who are going to be feeling this lack of a flight to New York.
Especially because they're going to be shuttling all those people that were taking the flight from Dayton to the John F. Kennedy International Airport.
Yeah.
So you can still get there, but it's not quite as convenient as it used to be.
Right. It's unfortunate, but what can you do?
But some good news, the Learning Cafe in Springfield has just kicked off their after-school services for kids. They had an open house last night to introduce some of the activities that they're going to offer for kids and their parents to take classes together. And the classes are actually practical lessons like foreign languages and how-to classes like balancing a budget, which is very, very important to learn.
Yeah, I think that's a really great idea. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good way for kids and parents to hang out together after school. It's a good way for parents to enforce maybe what their children are learning in school or bring up things that they're not.
And that was the intent of the Learning Center, is that it was for parents to learn with their kids together.
Right.
Because the learning process when kids are in school, it's just the kids. The kids, the parents are not involved. So this is a fantastic way to get parents involved in the learning process, and maybe kids will appreciate parents a little bit more when they see their parents also learning.
Exactly. So it's not like, Mom, you don't know what I go through, because she's right there with you going through it. So that'll be nice. Now, we mentioned yesterday that Dayton ranked top 10 on Amazon.com's list of the most romantic cities in the country, and maybe our winter weather is to blame. A study printed in the Journal of Consumer Research claims that cold weather makes us want to watch more romantic comedies than usual. I get this. I would agree.
You do?
Yeah, it gets cold outside. You want to cuddle. You know, you're in hibernation mode, so it's always nice to have someone there with you. And maybe if there isn't, the only thing you can do is live vicariously through a romantic comedy.
If you're not physically warm, then you can be psychologically warm. That's what you're talking about.
Exactly.
I see that argument, but what about the fact that there are not everybody associates romantic comedies with psychological warmth? Then it's null and void, isn't it?
I guess technically it would be, but I know personally that I do. So I don't know if maybe that's a gender thing, if men maybe do not associate, oh, let me pop in the notebook and just feel good about life. So I know a lot of my female friends, and I definitely
The study
do.
did point out, though, that the results were independent of mood and gender.
Okay.
Take from that what you will. Still to come on Living Dayton, a baby is always a welcome surprise, but one local woman did not plan